teaching a stimulating way. After nearly a decade of service and having served tens of thousands of people, Singapore First Aid continues to be one of the most competitive first aid schools in this region, teaching real first aid for the real world. Okay, so let's give a hand and welcome Rasheed.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Right. Okay, it's a privilege to be here to be able to share with you a little bit about what I do. Anyway, once again, for those of you who have not met me, my name is Rasheed.
Can you all hear me now?
Yes. Okay, for those of you who have not met me before, my name is Rasheed. Okay, I'm from Singapore First Aid Training Center. Alright. So you can get the next slide, sorry. Okay, so yeah, there you go. Singapore First Aid Training Center. Okay, so we've been around for almost about 10 years now. Started out very small. There were only like 2-3 of us back then. And then today we have about 15 people. We have 7 full-time trainers. I'll talk a little bit about that. So we have quite a long way since then. A couple of benchmarks for our company we want to share with you all. We are the very first company, first aid school in Singapore to be internationally accredited by the American Heart Association. How many of you have heard of the American Heart Association? Those of you from America, you definitely know. Okay, American Heart Association is a global body which covers all the CPR first aid guidelines, right? Everywhere around the world, we share the same guidelines as them. So we are the very first American Heart Association centered in Singapore and around the region. Currently, we have 7 full-time qualified trainers who used to be paramedics and or nurses. Right? That means they used to have a lot of experience with first aid, CPR on real people before. Yeah, in fact, myself also, I did CPR on a lot of people. That's how you look familiar with that. Okay, so anyway, yeah, we are also one of the very first first aid school, private first aid school, which is conducting advanced life support, which is recognized globally. Okay, and recently we also just came up with a line of our own signature programs, right? And a couple of new resource materials to help the first aider take the extra step, right? So those are some of the things we do. I'll just show you some of the people we serve. We were privileged to serve in the past. Government bodies, MNCs, healthcare, we have trained a couple of hospital staff. Sports and fitness, like the popular names are California Fitness, Fitness First, hopefully Physics 360 something. Alright. Marine and shipping lines like ABB Marine, Fugro, and of course we have taught a lot of childcares and kindergartens in schools. Hundreds and thousands of them. Okay. Oh yeah, that was Xiaomi back in the year 2000. It's still very clean shaven back then. Alright, so I joined the paramedic in 1988, the 8 intake, one of the very first few intakes. I was the very first batch of paramedics sent to Nanyang Polytechnic, EU and Obstetric and Gynecology course, where we so we are actually a trained midwife. Myself and Edwin in the back, we are trained midwives. So anyone want to deliver today? No, please don't refer.
If you can promise, you can deliver.
Okay, I was also privileged to be one of the very first, I was the first batch of selected paramedics to join the biker paramedic, which is the fast response paramedic. It was a new scheme in 2001. And yeah, I was also privileged to actually represent civil defense in a couple of competitions. So yeah, just a bit of background. But go back. Actually, instead of talking so much about my company, which is going to be very, very boring, can I share with you a story about myself?
Yes.
Would that be okay with you?
Yes.
Okay, I always believe that everything in this world happens for a reason. How many of you agree with me? Everything happens for a reason, right? And the reason is there to serve you, alright? So for me, let me just share with you a little bit about my story. Okay, before, back when I was still like very young, you know, okay, I won't specify what is very young. But back when I was younger, I always felt that there was this purpose for me to be here in this world, but I just couldn't put my finger on it. I just don't know what I should be doing. Alright, so I did a lot of soul searching, a lot of research, finding about myself, about everything, about the spiritual world, the real world, everything. And it finally brought me to paramedics. Just one day I opened up the newspaper and saw we are taking in paramedics. Hey, it looks like something which I can really do. So I started from scratch. I had no medical background at all. I started from scratch, joined the paramedics with the hope of maybe able to find my passion in there. And I'm quite blessed. I felt that I did find my passion in paramedics. I was there for a couple of years, about 6-7 years in the paramedics, and I was very privileged to actually attend to a lot of emergency cases. And it really fills my heart with joy. Every time we go out for calls, it's very, very exciting. You can just imagine, they give you just 1 minute for you to get out of the premises and be on your way. 1 minute, So if you're in the toilet also, you have to just run for it, And no time. Sometimes you even don't dare to go to the toilet. So so only 1 minute for you to get out. So it's always an adrenaline rushing. You go everywhere with all the sudden, it's very, very fun. So but even though there's a lot of excitement, a lot of joy, having people out there, but there was this part which always saddens me, alright? And I couldn't really put my finger on it. One of the most unfortunate things which I have to attend to, which we attend to very frequently, like at least once a day, is that when we get there and someone's heart stop pumping, okay? And any of you know what that is called? Very close, okay? It's actually called a cardiac arrest, okay? What is it called, please? Cardiac arrest. Very good, okay? It's called a cardiac arrest, okay? A cardiac arrest is when your heart stops pumping. Unfortunately, when your heart stops pumping, you are as good as dead, right? You're just waiting for the time for your brain to die, that's all. Your heart stops pumping. But did you know that if you did something very, very early, like within the first few minutes, the person can be saved? If you did CPR, how many of you know what is CPR? Very good, okay, I think at least 6 of you know what CPR is. So I said the BNI CPR intensive. Okay, CPR stands for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. You cannot crack people's ribs. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Okay, when you go there, you pump on the person's heart. Okay, so if you know how to do CPR, you can make a difference. You can save that person's life. Unfortunately, in Singapore, CPR is not done as frequently as we think it should be. Only 1 out of 5 people receive CPR. Is that sad? Yes. 1 out of 5 people. So about the other 4 of them, they don't get it and they just die. And this is what I see every single day. Every single day we go out there, it's a good challenge for us. When we get there, we see that this person is lying there. There are people around. Whether they are trained or not, I don't know. But the fact is that they are not stepping forward to help. Okay. And what could have been prevented in the first few minutes actually was that person. So it always breaks my heart whenever I'm bringing this person to the hospital. Okay, because we are there, we are trying our best, we are doing the drill, we are trying our best doing CPR, we are shocking this person. Oh yeah, by the way, we also shock people. Anyone gets a shock? Okay, so we shock them, we give them drugs, stuff like that. But at the back of our mind, we know that it's all in vain. Nothing is going to change what we are doing. The damage is big. So unfortunately, most of those people die. Okay? So if you think the paramedics are the best people to call, actually not. Because whenever we get there, we are just doing the drill. The results will always be the same if someone is going to do it. So I felt that this is a very, very big issue here. I can be the best paramedic in the world. I can be the most passionate paramedic, but I cannot save everyone out there. Because something else has been done right in the beginning. So that was where I actually decided that maybe I should go into training. So I started doing small scale training, and it was very fun. I developed this passion for training. And so in 2000, we actually kind of like, in the year 2000, we started to do a little bit of training here and there. And in 2001, it kind of